Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to This Week Unloaded number 51. Tonight we have with us Snob's wife. How are you tonight? Stacy.
I'm here. I was trying to let the YouTube come up so I can pause it so I didn't, it didn't go in the background.
Okay.
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not too bad. And next we have Jason Stewart. How are you tonight, Jason?
Oh, I'm doing good, Rich. How are you guys?
Not too bad. Little wore out from yesterday still, I think, but other than that.
What'd you do yesterday?
We were running around Winchester, Virginia yesterday. Yeah, we hit the mall and a bunch of other stores. Yeah, I don't know if you're my wife. We're never going to Michael's again. God, that place was expensive.
Yeah, they are. My daughter loves Michael's and Hobby Lobby and anywhere she
we
can
went
get
to
art
Hobby
supplies.
Lobby. Hobby Lobby's prices were much better than Michael's prices were.
Well, she usually goes for art supplies, and the art supplies are here and there depending on what you're getting.
Yeah, I got this yesterday at Hobby Lobby.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. They had this one. Oh, go ahead.
I have one wooden plaque that has like 3 revolvers on it, but I haven't got it put up yet. Gotta find a place for it.
Yeah, they had one. It was a cow's butt, and it had a hook coming out where the tail should be.
Were those like Colt Peacemakers or something?
On this thing here?
Yeah, your little we don't call 911.
Yeah, one's a Peacemaker and the other one's a double action revolver.
Oh, nice. You just get a Hobby Lobby, the arts and crafts store, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have. See, I used to give my mother-in-law crap all the time because she went to Hobby Lobby all the time. And I don't remember the reason, but I went in there, and then I found all this country decor, which I love. So now I'm always going to Hobby Lobby. So now she's always teasing me about it.
Yeah, they had one out. It was nothing but like Western stuff.
Yeah, I love their Western stuff there.
Huh. I'll have to stop in up there. We got a Hobby Lobby here. It's a pretty good sized store. I mean, it's full of everything, but I haven't been there in a couple of years. So maybe I can go there and find something.
Yeah, they had wall hangers of like Winchester rifles and stuff. They had that one that Snob has on his wall, that fake rifle he has. They had one of those down there. I was tempted to grab one, but I'm like, nah, then Snob will say I'm copying him.
Get one and put a real cheap red dot on the side of it.
Yeah. That chicken that black cock that Gary got, that was where I got that at, was at Hobby Lobby.
Yeah. They had the toilet paper roll holder there that was a revolver, and the toilet paper roll goes where the cylinder would be.
Yeah, I've seen that. But see, the ones I have right now, I got it at Atwood's, and it's got the horseshoe.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a toilet paper roll, and it's got the towel bars and all that all match.
And they had a coat rack, which was the rear ends of horses. They had some pretty crazy stuff. We were there yesterday.
Yeah, a lot of times for Mother's Day and my birthday and stuff, that's where Snob will end up going to buy me stuff because he knows I love stuff from there.
They already had their Christmas stuff up. Christmas trees and stuff. Yeah.
Boy, that's too early.
Yeah. Speaking of
too.
That's where I got all my country the ornaments. Like I did a completely country Christmas tree, and it has all the horseshoes and the saddle and all that stuff. That's where I got all them.
Yeah, what's interesting, Hobby Lobby has the Christmas stuff out, and it's all on sale already.
Oh yeah, it'll be on sale all the way through December, January.
Well, the Halloween stuff wasn't on sale, but the Thanksgiving stuff and the Christmas stuff was all on sale.
Yeah, it is down sale the whole time, pretty much.
They had some nice trees too. We hadn't just bought one a couple of years ago. Because we with my daughter's asthma and stuff, we don't use a real tree. But, a lot of times now these artificial ones, they look like real trees.
Yeah, we always just use the ones that we just buy and put up every year.
Yeah. The one we got now has actual real pine cones on it, and it has the fake snow on it, and the lights built into it.
Well, since we got the pellet stove, we ended up buying one that's more like a tall, thin one, not the real, big one. And it's just tall and thin, so it works a lot better until we get our new house done.
Yeah, we got like a 7-foot. I think it's supposed to be a spruce, if I remember right. I mean, unless you get real close to it and really look at it from distance, it looks like a real tree.
Yeah.
Michael's, one thing they did have that was cool. They had this, you get the Christmas village stuff to put underneath your tree.
Yeah.
They had Halloween stuff like that. The problem was they wanted a shit ton of money for it. Like they had this really cool one. It was a clock. It was like a cuckoo clock tower thing, where it had like death and a skeleton going around on the bottom. Like the really elaborate cuckoo clocks will. But it was also set up like a building, right? So you had like a tower, and then the clock was in the tower, and then underneath and stuff. And then after so long, the door, like where your cuckoo would be, and the cuckoo clock would open up, and a witch would pop out and start screaming, and then Death would start chasing the skeleton around at the bottom. It was really cool looking. They wanted like $200 for it.
Yeah.
Like, no. Yeah, my wife got a picture of it on her phone.
It's a video. I videotaped it.
See, I can do the whole Christmas village.
People can get that. Can you see it?
Oh yeah.
Yes. They wanted $200 for that. That door at the top, that's where the witch pops out, and then after the witch pops out, Death starts chasing the skeleton at the bottom there. See, there's the witch.
I remember one year, Aubrey, well, she's 11 now, and I bet she was like 6 or 7. I don't know. She was younger. We went into Lowe's one time because I had to go in there and get Snob something. And me and her, and they had one of those witches, and it was motion. And so to go by and it started making this this creepy laugh. And oh my God, she went hysterical. I just laughed. I thought it was so funny. And of course, people thought I was really cruel because I made sure to take her back by it.
I videotaped it because Anna's into that shit. I videotaped
It was
her.
funny.
And they had some other stuff too. Like there was I'm trying to remember what else there was. They had a whole bunch of them. And that was just one of them. That was the most expensive one. They had a bunch of other ones. They had little houses and stuff, like little haunted houses. And there was I'm trying to remember what it was. There was a hot air balloon that it was Death and a skeleton riding in a hot air balloon. That's what it was. And it was set up on like a hanger thing, where you got the rod that would come up off the ground, and the balloon was like hanging off that to make it look like it was flying. But they had some really nice stuff as far as that's concerned, but they wanted way too much for it.
Yeah. And you could probably go on eBay or Amazon and find it a lot cheaper.
This was all Michael's exclusive stuff.
Oh. Yeah.
For your Christmas village, you'll find like little fence pieces. They had a haunted house fence like that. They wanted $10 for 3 pieces of it. Like, whoa. That's like way too much money for those little fence pieces.
Yes. See, the Christmas village, I could totally do the Christmas village because my sister loved the Christmas village. So every Christmas, I buy her like 2 or 3 different things for Christmas. And she died a few years ago, so they're all up there actually in the silo up there at his grandparents in a box. I mean, but I just really don't have a place to put them.
We got a bunch of village stuff that we put up underneath our trees. We got churches and stuff that we put underneath the tree and all that stuff. What about you, Jason? You do anything with that kind of stuff?
No, man. I got a like countertop Christmas tree, probably about 2 feet tall.
Yeah, one of those little ones.
Yeah.
You need to go to Hobby Lobby and get yourself one of the 4.5-foot trees.
Well, I've been single. I was single last Christmas, so this will be another Christmas. Just keep it simple.
Right? Those 4.5-foot trees they had down there were nice. They were like, you know how you see the the little trees that they'll put out like landscaping and stuff, to decorate yards and whatnot. That's what they look like. That's what it looked like. It looked like one of those little one of those little like 4-foot tall evergreens trees, not a bush, but an actual tree kind of thing. But
Yeah, I got the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. That's what we were calling it. Actually, I don't even know if I put it away or threw it away. I don't know. I'm trying to think about where it would be at right now.
Hell, I'm not putting this thing away. Just put it in the garbage bag over and throw it in the garbage.
Yeah, I'm seriously. It was really small. It was, I don't know, 1.5 feet, 2 feet tall, maybe a foot around. Had little tiny bulbs on it, about the size of a quarter. But it lit up. It already had lights and everything built right on it when you plugged it up.
Buck's telling you this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't have kids, because I don't look forward. I mean, I'm usually the Grinch come Christmas because it's close, because now that our kids are older, everything they want is more and more expensive.
Oh no, that's always the way.
I keep saying I'm going to stick to my guns, because if I'm not single anymore, then I won't have any money for guns. So
yeah. One year, my kids all wanted like iPods, so we got them instead of iPods, we got them the Galaxy S3 player, which is basically like the S3 phone without the phone in it, but did everything else that the S3 phone did. The video, the music, the reading. You put like books and stuff on it. It did all that, and they could connect to the Wi-Fi with it. It was basically like the Samsung version of the iPod Touch. I don't know why Samsung ever got rid of those, stopped making those, because they were actually a nice little music player. I guess with the prices of cell phones anymore, you should just go buy yourself a prepaid phone for like $10, That was a few years ago, though. How long ago was the S3 out? It came out? We're on what, the S10 now? You'd think Chevy would sue Samsung for that, right? Because the S10 was their little truck. You'd think they would have that copyrighted or something.
that S10 looks pretty nice, but man, that's a lot of money for a phone.
I got an S9. It's not much cheaper. And we are joined by a Bloke's 2 Cents. How are you tonight, Bloke?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey, honey.
Hi, Stacy. Sorry, I've been out of the picture for a little while, but been busy with last-minute exams, so now I'm back in the game.
How'd your test go?
Good. I got all A's, thank God. So another round. I have exactly a week off, and a lot of catching up to do.
I don't know if you've been listening, but we were talking. It's Christmas in August, apparently. We were talking about Christmas trees and stuff.
Yeah, I've been. There's a new plaza where I live here in Newport Richey, or Trinity, Florida, and we went to the local store. What's it called? It's Home Goods, and they had a bunch of Christmas stuff everywhere. And my wife just went ballistic and wanted to buy up the entire bloody store, but had to put my foot down on that.
Yeah, we were just at Hobby Lobby yesterday, and that's what brought up this whole thing. Was and then Michael's had this, like, you know how you do the Christmas Village stuff. Michael's had Halloween Village stuff.
Oh boy.
They were charging way too much money for it.
Yeah, it's just anything to drive up the sales at this point. So, I had to put my foot down and say, let's just hold off for about 3.5 months and we should be good.
And I don't know if you saw when I was showing this earlier, but this is the haul I got from
Nice.
Hobby Lobby.
I like it. I was in Fort Lauderdale about a month or so ago, and I went to this restaurant. It was a Mexican restaurant, and they had this really cool gun in a holster. It was made out of wire and used bullets and all of it. I wanted to buy it, but they weren't up to selling it to me.
Yeah, we hit Red Robin yesterday too. If you've never been to Red Robin and you go there, get their strawberry lemonade. That was awesome. They have a non-alcoholic and an alcoholic version of it.
All right.
I had the non-alcoholic version, but man, that stuff was good. They put big chunks of strawberries in it.
Mm-hmm. There's a place near us. It's called Bahama Breeze, and if you have alcoholic beverages, they have a Bloody Mary and they put a chicken wing in it.
I guess that beats a scorpion, like that one place out in Vegas.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do insects.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to drink a beverage that has a scorpion in the bottom.
Well, you go to some of the other countries, like where is it? Vietnam or one of those countries. They drink blood from the snake before they cook it, and it's supposed to be for like your testosterone and stuff. But I mean, I like some fancy stuff, but not into the crazy stuff.
Yeah,
I'll pass on the snake blood. Thanks.
Yeah, me too. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing real good.
Good.
Yeah, one thing is I've never been in like tequila unless it's like wormless kind of. I don't get the point of having the worm in the bottom of the bottle. This seems a little odd,
Yeah, the alcohol's potent enough. Why put something in there that could take your life?
I guess if you drank enough tequila, by the time you get down to the worm, you're so drunk you don't even care at that point.
Well, yeah, I think it was originally meant for, your masculinity. So, you can drink all this tequila. Why not add one up and throw a scorpion in there?
The whole thing with the worm at the bottom of the tequila bottle was that if you're the one who finished the bottle, you had to eat the worm.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm trying to remember which brand that was. I don't remember. No, but I have seen it, and I did steer away from that. Stacy, how are you tonight?
Had to find the mute button. How I'm doing? Well, so, I mean, going back to work. I had a 3-day weekend, so going back to work tomorrow.
Nice. Very nice.
Got about another month left on this job.
Oh, boy. Then what?
Then I think it would be a layoff, so I'm going to go probably get unemployment for a while, and then I'm going to try and go do a course for surgical tech.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know a few surgical techs. They enjoy it. The other one you should look at is it's actually a certification. A friend of mine does it for plasma. He goes around. He's on call all the time, but he travels around and he educates the MDs in the surgical room about plasma replacement. It's not a bad certification. He makes good money at it.
No, it wouldn't be bad at all. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go talk to Tulsa Tech and look at a few options there, stuff that's easy on my back, and
Sure.
see how it's gonna go. And do something that's going to be a career, not really just, like this job. I mean, I knew the people that were running it. My father-in-law works there. So it just like, I did it before a couple of years ago. Might as well go back and do it again.
Yeah, I'm digging this new available icon upload to StreamYard. I'm definitely digging.
Yeah.
My wife, she does dialysis. She likes it. She likes that.
Yeah. So what's new? What's on the agenda for today?
Not much anything. I mean, we were just talking about Christmas stuff.
Well, I think it was Christmas in July. It was a couple years ago. I guess they moved it
Oh,
up
no,
another month.
Christmas in July. You know what Christmas in July originally was? It's actually a thing, but what it was, they would have a big sale, right? And they would say it's like Christmas in July because of the prices, and that's where Christmas in July came from.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So, Jason, what you been up to, bud?
Oh, working. I got a new gun and went and shot it last night. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah? What was it?
I got a Wilson Combat 92G Centurion Tactical.
Ooh.
And it is sweet.
Look at this guy, man. He gets a Nighthawk. Now he's got a Wilson Combat.
Hey, the Wilson Combat came from the same guy the Nighthawk came from.
Nice. I just ordered my first 300 Blackout upper from Bear Creek Arsenal. And then unfortunately, they sent me an email. I don't know. It's kind of weird. They sent me an email that the shipment is ready. And then I got another email saying that they're out of stock. And I said, okay, just refund me. And they apologized. I said, no worries, it happens. And then about 10 minutes later, I got another email with the FedEx UPS confirmation. So I'm kind of confused on that one. So I'm just going to wait and see what's happening. But it'd be my first 300 Blackout, so I'm ecstatic about that.
Oh, yeah. I've been wanting to get a 300 Blackout. Maybe just an upper.
Yeah, it's a 10.5 full upper, and I think it was like $179 at Bear Creek Arsenal. Not bad price.
Yeah.
No.
300 Blackout. If you like 7.62 by 39, you'll like 300 Blackout. It's similar, but it's a little more versatile because it's easy especially like if you want a suppressor or something, it's easier to suppress it than what
Right.
the 39 is.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I was buying it, because I'm doing a review here soon on a company called CGS on one of their new MOD9 suppressors, which takes that.
Right.
And I got the 5.56, but I wanted the 300 Blackout just to test it a little.
Yeah, if you got like a 300 Blackout and you use the subsonic rounds with a suppressor on it, it makes for a really good home defense gun. You're talking about something that holds 30 rounds of ammunition, and it has the power of like a 45 ACP, depending on the round, could be anywhere between 45 ACP to 357 Magnum in energy and whatnot developed. So it makes for a good home defense gun if you got a suppressed 300 Blackout pistol.
Yeah, 10.5 inches, man. That's a hell of a pistol.
Yeah, and you don't have if you got it suppressed, you don't have to worry about having hearing protection because with the subsonic ammo, it's really quiet.
Yeah, I'm stoked I'm really stoked to get it, and that's the same one that I'm doing the for my friend's not giveaway, but for his GoFundMe project. So I'll be giving one of those away here once I review it. And in fact, I'm not giving a used one away. I'm giving a brand spanking new one away. So stay tuned for that.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
How good is that 300 Blackout if you just make it into the rifle with like a 16-inch barrel? Is it still a good round, or
yeah?
Is that too much barrel for it, or? If
you're using the supersonics, you're looking at ballistics similar to a 7.62 by 39. You could use it for deer hunting if you wanted to.
Yeah. I really don't want to go the pistol route.
Yeah, there's people that use 300 Blackout rifles for hog hunting.
Yeah, and I think they're roughly about maybe $10 difference between the barrel size. I mean, 10.5 to say like a 15-inch or so. So they're good company, man. I'm very impressed with their prices.
Yeah,
I
this is what,
can't put a pistol upper on a rifle lower, right?
not without a tax stamp.
No, right.
Yeah.
But you can put a rifle upper on a pistol lower. It doesn't. The NFA laws are ridiculous. Because if you have a pistol, right? If it starts out as a pistol, if it's registered as either being a pistol or another on your 4473, you can put whatever upper you want on it. If it's registered on the 4473 as a rifle, it's a rifle. You cannot put a pistol upper on it without a tax stamp.
Yeah, well, I don't want to do that. I've just fondled and held some AR pistols before, and they just seem just a little too short, just a little too small. I'd rather just kind of go the cheap, easy route where I could slap a 300 upper on what I already have.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can get a 300 pistol rifle upper. I mean, and again, depending on the round you're using, you'll have ballistics very similar to what a 7.62 by 39 is.
Would I have to change like my my buffer?
No,
No, not at all. No.
all you're doing is changing the barrel, essentially.
Mhm.
Uses the same bolt carrier, same buffer, same spring. It's just
Well,
only thing it changes is the barrel.
I went from like the regular buffer to the H2 tungsten buffer with the double weights in it, because I got it in the Ruger 5.56. It's got the heavy barrel, and I just kind of, when I got the gun, I kind of went through it and tried to take out where Ruger cost cutted corners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just tried to hit different areas. I got all Magpul furniture on it and everything, but I changed that out. Well, I wouldn't have no problem with it.
Yeah,
I still got the original one I could stick in it.
yeah. The 5.56 magazines are supposed to work with 300 blackout. I've seen people use them, but there are ones that are 300 blackout magazines which are supposed to work better. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard those 5.56 tend to stick though.
Yeah, I've heard people have had issues with them. I've also seen people use them without having any issue. So I mean, your results may vary. You want to invest in a couple of mags just to try them out when you get your 300 upper. I mean, it's up to you, but or if you just want to try your 5.56 mags first, again, that's up to you.
Yeah, give it a shot. I mean, it's the only thing it'll do is just stick. It's not going to do anything else,
Yeah, it's not going to cause it to blow up or anything,
Yeah, unless you got a crappy round. I had that happen not too long ago. It was a 7x5 it was the P90, and lucky enough it didn't explode in the chamber. It just kind of came out underneath, and it popped out from the bottom. Thank God. It was the first time that ever happened. It blew the casing off though. Any suggestions on the lower, Rick, for that 300?
Whatever you're comfortable with. I mean, it's any 5.56 lower will work with it.
Yeah, I'm looking at PSA, but I heard their prices have gone up now, like 20%. They apparently they got a shipment seized for some reason. That's what I heard anyway.
I don't know. My 5.56, I just have an Anderson lower on it, so.
There you go.
But there's various ones that are good. Get Arrow, whatever the hell is it? Arrow something, I can't remember now. My brain fart. Arrow Precision, that's what it is. AERO Precision, they're good. Spike's Tactical is good, but they're on the expensive side. But they're the ones that do all the fancy stuff like unicorn low. What is it? The snowflake lower with the unicorn on it. And then they have the ones that they look like helmets.
Yeah. Actually, where else did I see that? I saw it had the helmet. It's like the Spartan helmet.
Yeah, they have a Spartan helmet, and then they have a Crusader helmet.
Yeah, there's pacifist said PSA has lowers for 139. Him and I have been chatting on another platform, and he's stoked. Did you get the email, pacifist, about them back in stock?
I like that lower that's like a skull. Was it called
Yeah.
a jack
I-
or something like
Yeah, I
that?
don't know who makes that one though. I've seen them, but I don't know who makes that one.
Is it Spikes or somebody?
No, Spikes doesn't make that one. That's a different. This is a different company. But Spikes doesn't do the helmet ones themselves in house. They designed it and then they had somebody else make it for them. It might be the same company. They might have contracted out to that company that makes the skull to make the helmet. I don't remember who it is. So,
I saw an AR once. It's just a picture, but it had. I'm pretty sure it used that lower receiver with the skull, and they like airbrushed it all in. You know what I mean? Like bones.
yeah,
You know the
yeah,
white
like
faded
a color thing on it. Yeah.
and the hand guard that went down it was had like rose vines with roses, and then some of the roses were skulls and the other ones were roses, and then they painted it all up beautiful. It was like Guns N' Roses, like the group Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
It had their theme to the whole gun like that, and it was awesome. I mean like it just came out looking great.
Yeah, the AR platform now is just so versatile in the customization. It's almost like the clock now. You just get so many different parts. So I'm liking it. That's for sure.
And getting back to the 300 blackout AR, I mean, you get people that are like, I want 7.62 by 39 AR. Why? The only advantage the 7.62 by 39 AR has over the 300 blackout would be that the ammo's cheaper. 300 blackout's going to be more reliable because there are multiple issues with the 7.62 by 39 in an AR because of the way the magazines and whatnot are shaped. Because you can't use, there's only a hand, like what, 2 or 3 that actually use AK magazines, and they're expensive as hell.
Yeah.
And then the actual 7.62 by 39 AR mags are Jam-O-Matic. They're not the most reliable magazines in the world. So if you're going to do something like that, I mean, other than for ammo costs, but if you can afford to buy one of the ones that takes AK mags, you're probably not worried about ammo costs anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're talking about a $1,500 rifle that takes the ones that take AK mags, or maybe a little bit more than that times. So,
Have you guys heard anything lately about the 350 Legend?
I haven't really heard much about it at all.
I heard problems with the ammunition at the beginning, and I haven't heard anything since.
No. Was it the first round trial?
Well, they're starting to make it. I just thought about because was at my dealer yesterday. He had several boxes of that, and I had never seen him have it before. But he had that same Winchester 350 Legend that what I saw from the beginning. They were having problems with inconsistent loads, but I haven't heard anything about the rifles, the weapons. You know what I mean? If any of those have had any problems, it's still pretty new.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about it at all. It's like 224 Valkyrie. It all just went. Remember how that was the big thing, and it just poof, and nobody's talking about that anymore.
Well, the thing I thought they came up with the 350 Legend for was somewhere or other they were promising for the ammunition to be cheap. But I guess they just meant cheap quality.
Who knows? I haven't heard much about it at all, other than like SHOT Show, I think, and then I haven't heard much about it since.
It looks like a pretty big bullet to me.
Yeah, somebody, I forget, so Mr. Guns and Gear put out a video about it a little while ago. I'm trying to remember. Somebody had just put a video out not that long ago about it, but that's it, man. That's all I've seen of it. I don't know. Honestly,
It's supposed to be. They advertised it was supposed to be near 30-30
Yeah.
powerful. But then they said it's really not. It's exaggerating a little bit there, but it still looks like a pretty big round to me.
Yeah, ballistically, I mean, 300 blackout can approach 30-30 levels, so it can send 62 by 39. So I mean, it's not 30-30 is it's a good brush round, but it's not the super powerful load that some people think it is. Spacey was just
Oh
firing
no,
on
but it'll
a
30-30
revolver.
on 30-30 will go pretty flat though, for 100, 150 yards.
Yeah, it's still 760 by 39. It's just it's not a long range round.
Yeah, it's not long range, but it gets the job done anywhere 100 yards in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, basically, like I was saying, she was just firing the Magnum Research BFR in 30-30 right.
What was that?
You were just shooting the BFR in 30-30 right.
Yeah.
A pistol in 30-30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know which one it is. It's got like a barrel that's like a foot long.
Yeah, and it's heavy. Oh my God, it was so heavy.
And I don't know if you saw her video on Instagram. It looked like that was recoiling less than what the 50 Action Express Desert Eagle was.
Yeah, it was a lot less than the Desert Eagle. The Desert Eagle, I shot that once because my back was already sore, and the second I shot it, it already I felt like a little twinge in my back. And I shot the 30-30 after that.
Yeah, I shot the it was an old Winchester 30-30. hell of a gun.
Yeah.
I have a few of those. One of my
I-
favorites.
Yeah, I used to deer hunt with J.C. Higgins, which was the old Sears store brand. Yeah, 30-30 rifle. That was a copy of the Marlin 336. In fact, it was made by Marlin.
I just picked up a 336 last month.
Mm. At the end of
had a chance to shoot it.
At the end of August, Walmart is doing that thing where they put it on layaway and you can pay up until December. So and they have those Marlins in there. They had a 357 and a 44. So if you buy it, you can put I think it's 10% down and pay it off all the way up until December.
I'd like to have one of those in 357.
Oh yeah, it's a sharp looking gun, man.
My dealer's got a few used Marlins down there right now, but the one I picked up last month, it's a real Marlin. It was made in like 2001,
Mm-hmm.
so it was before Remington. But he's got a few down there that are Remington years. They seem okay, but two of them's 4570s, and one of them's 35 Remington.
The local pawn shop that I go to, and they have one of those 4570s, but used it's $800. The Marlin.
Oh, we got them here for I think both of them are in the $500 range.
Man, they're charging you MSRP for a used one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't buy it.
Lord.
Yeah, I didn't buy it. $500 ain't bad. It's new.
No, they're used, but they look good. Both of them are they're the 4570, and they have like a short barrel on them, like maybe a 16-inch barrel or something. It's not 20. It's short, and it's got a rail, Picatinny rail, all the way across the top of them. And both of them have big loop levers, but one of them has like a Bushnell red dot sitting on top of it. But yeah, they're like 500, 535, something like that here, both of them.
That would be a good brush.
And they're actually not in bad shape. And the checkering on the wood was pretty nice on them. I've seen some Marlins over the last few years that like the checkering's really weak in areas, or like you got good checkering on the stock and it's real light on the foregrip. Both of these guns, the 4570s, looked pretty good. And
Yeah, the quality of Marlin has come back up in the later ones. You get the mid 2000s, right after Freedom Group took over Marlin, and the quality control was garbage. Now they've come back up, and the quality looks like they're getting better on them. I was handling one back in January, I think, at the local gun shop, and it was really nice looking rifle.
Yeah, I definitely want to get my hands on one. I was at the range. It was about 3 or 4 months ago, and there was a guy next to me shooting one of those 44 Magnum Marlins, man, and you could definitely feel the percussion off of it standing next to him. It was a nice gun.
I like the new Henry too, the one with their new 3030 with the loading gate. It's got the King's gate on it, but then you can unload it using the standard Henry loading system. It has both their tube loading system, and then it also has a King's gate on it. Use the King's gate to load it, and then the tube system to unload it, so you don't have to run the action to unload every round like you always do.
I'll have to go check that out. Are they brass like the Henrys, or
Yeah, it's the brass Henry receiver.
You know what? I made a mistake. Walmart doesn't have the Marlins; they have the Henrys. My apologies.
Yeah, I got it. Well, my son got my Henry 22 at Walmart. He got when on Black Friday they got the normal Black Friday discount plus an extra. He $280 some Henry 22. He paid like $200 for.
Wow, that's a sweet deal.
Yeah, that was the Black Friday sale, his employee discount, and then an extra discount that the employees got for Black Friday.
Crap! I need to go and work at Walmart. Maybe I'll do that at nighttime. Go and stock some shelves. So anything going on this week?
Huh?
Anything going on this week? Hey, did you ever get a new name yet for your channel?
No, and I've been a little busy to even think about it. I've thought of a few, so I'm still in the deciding stage.
It's a very long time for the decide.
This hasn't quite hit me just exactly what I want yet.
It will come to you once you find it. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty.
Yeah. So it's got the loading gate,
yeah?
and then up here you can see here where it's got the cutout where you would unload it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got like the standard Henry loading thing, but it also has a King's gate on it.
What are they running?
See what's the MSRP? Which caliber you want to look at? 38, 55, 30, or 35 Remington.
Ooh, let's go for the 30-30.
MSRP is $1,045. So you're probably looking at a street price around $850, $900.
Mm-hmm.
Does that gun have a safety on it?
No,
Nice.
it would be a half cock. It's got safety on it. Yeah.
Excuse my son. He's up and about if you hear him.
Now, is that silver or is that gold? I can't tell.
That's brass.
Brass.
That is a brass receiver.
Yeah, brass.
Brass receiver and brass
Flip.
barrel ring
Yep, that's
With-
sweet.
with the sling swivels. And it's also tapped at the top for if you want to put a scope on it.
That's blasphemy.
That's beautiful. Yep, it makes me want to go out and buy a cowboy hat and a trench coat.
Oh, that would be sweet with one of those reproduction old-time brass scopes. It's one that's like probably almost as long as the whole barrel is.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be sweet.
These are
brass.
great. I'm surprised they don't have it in a 45-70. You got a 30, 38-55, and 35 Remington. You think they would do it in 45-70 as well, but they don't.
Well, maybe the receiver ain't strong enough.
Well, they make a 30. They make 45-70 rifles. I'm just it's weird that they in their lever guns with the brass receiver. Just they don't have the 45-70 in this one for some reason.
do you know anything about? I don't have a Henry, and I haven't really checked them out. Can you get anything for a Henry? Like do a trigger job, like get the big loop lever or something on that? Do they have parts like that for Henry?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, okay.
Like
Wow.
you can get a Keller case hardened big loop. So you have all that pretty Keller.
I like that.
How much is that?
How much is that? $85. Not too bad. Keller case hardened is expensive stuff. So.
Well, my wife asked me what I wanted for my birthday next week, so there it is.
What, do you have a Henry?
No, but that's the next thing.
buy the lever and you're like, oh, now I gotta get a rifle. To go with
Yeah,
it.
Gotta get a rifle, go with the lever.
you know, I mean, what's good's the lever without a rifle?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to go check Henry out.
Yeah, they're just a good-looking gun, man.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
I never heard anything about them. I guess I never heard anything bad. I mean, are they accurate, or do the barrels?
Yeah, they're good rifles. The main thing that you hear people complain about is their loading system, but the thing that they're trying to make them as much like the old Henrys, but still being a little bit more modern. So that's why you still have that tube loading system, because that's where the Henrys were. The Henrys didn't have the original Henry rifle didn't have the Kingsgate, so they're trying to recreate that. You know,
What's the wooden stocks over there? Is that something nicer than what you buy, or
that's a Purdy walnut. That's what that is.
pretty walnut?
Yeah, look at that.
Oh wow, I love that walnut look.
That's an upgrade from off the shelf.
Yeah, that's an upgrade over the standard walnut.
Nice.
What does that run?
$250.
Yeah.
Well, being pretty ain't cheap.
No.
You gotta make sure you're getting it. You're right that this is for your rifle you have too. Like I have this rifle. They have it for my 22.
Oh wow.
I ain't paying that, but I ain't paying more for the stock than what the rifle costs.
Yeah. Well, crap, nowadays you buy a rifle, you know, the most of the time the scope's more expensive than the rifle.
I'll tell you that Wilson Combat I just bought. Man, it's got a beautiful trigger on it. It is so smooth and light. It's actually almost at the edge of being too light. I had a couple double taps that I wasn't really expecting. So it teaches you to have a little more respect for it. But I took out some other Berettas that I have that I've done a little work to, and they shoot every bit as accurate, if not maybe a little bit more accurate than that Wilson does. And I only have half the price in those.
Really?
Wilson didn't really do anything for accuracy. Okay, it's features and stuff. But my biggest problem, I think, last night was it'll group really good, but it has a big dot sight on the front. It's got a really large orange sight with a night sight in the middle, and it's really, really large, and it just kind of keeps you from not being a good bullseye every time. You almost got to line up the center night sight part as what you're going to hit, as compared to my other bird I had out there. It has a really small front sight on it, so it just seems like I was a little more accurate with that one.
What kind of Beretta?
The Wilson's great. The other one I took out was a M9 Langdon. It's got some Langdon tactical stuff on it. It still doesn't have as light a trigger as that Wilson does. But yeah, that Wilson just got a sweet trigger. And, it looks nice. It's got its features and stuff. But as far as it being any more accurate than another gun, No, it's not.
Yeah, I've never owned a Wilson yet. I've got a couple Berettas, but not a Wilson.
Yeah, I was watching video from Honest Outlaw from like a year ago earlier today because I was bored and trying to find something to watch, you know. And he was talking about the worst guns he ever bought, the ones he regretted buying. One of them was a Wilson Combat in 9mm.
I'm not. Oh, I love it. They're great guns. I'm just saying that it's a lot of lipstick. You know what I mean? There's stuff like the checkering and the rounded trigger guards and all. It's just for looks. They're not doing anything like fitting a barrel nice or improving anything. It's a Beretta's a good gun to begin with.
Oh yeah,
There's no problems with it. But, thin grips really make it a lot better gun. Really, what you for just a lighter trigger. There's where you're getting your accuracy from out of them.
yeah. I got the PX4 Storm, and I love that Beretta. Such a good handy gun, man. I know it doesn't run through the hardcore test because of the swivel barrel on it, but man, what an accurate gun.
Yeah. In the video, he was talking about because he got the 1911. I forget what the model it was, but it was one of the ones in 9mm, and he said that thing it was jamming constantly. Didn't matter what magazines he was using, it just jammed up like crazy.
Oh, a Wilson 9mm 1911.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said his Dan Wesson and Colt and one other one were so much more reliable than what that Wilson Combat was, and they were like half the price.
1911s are finicky, man. They need a little. Yeah. They need a little kick in the butt sometimes. Get them working.
Usually, you change your ammo and it'll run, or you use different magazines and it'll run. But he said it wouldn't run. It didn't matter what ammo, what magazine was running. It just jam. It would consistently jam, and he just he got tired of messing with it, and he sold it.
So the Colt I got this summer, I had all my ammo that I took in a day. It went through almost 300 rounds till it would feed two rounds in a row, and it didn't just jam them in there. It bent the cases and everything.
Oh, so it was basically like the Remington R9.
It worked itself out, and then I filed on it and repolished the feed ramp on it, and been working fine ever since. But I mean, I did everything, and you know how things work. I'd sit there and complain all day long. This thing's going right back. This is getting mailed right back to them to fix it, right? So I go to my phone and make a video of showing it jam up, and as soon as I turn it on to make a video, the thing quit jamming up.
Typical.
And it wasn't magazines. I had several magazines from all different makers. They were just rounds would come up and get caught and not feed into it. Just jam it. And that slide would jam so hard that you couldn't get it pulled back a smidge to get the round out or nothing. I actually turned it around and beat it on the picnic table a couple of times like a hammer to get it to loosen up.
What kind of ammo were you running through it?
I was running all different kinds. I was running Remington, green and white. I was running Blazer. I had American Eagle, and I had Winchester. It's like the classic World War II load or whatever. It didn't matter. It was the end of that barrel was burred up, nicked up. I know it had all them cases jammed in it, but I don't see how a brass case can damage a stainless steel barrel. You know what I mean? And it was like the very first round, like from the get go, that gun fired one round and the next round jammed, and it was like that for all the ammo that I brought that day.
You still have it?
Yeah, works good now.
Just need to bang out the cricks, bud.
Yeah, I do some. I filed on it. I filed on it a couple different directions and had to repolish it and everything, and it's worked great ever since.
Dehydrators out there now.
And that was a Colt, and you would think you'd get better than that from Colt, but
they're pretty priced, that's for sure.
And I've never had that much faith in Colt, at least especially lately. They're just not as Colt's not what it was. I've never been a Colt revolver fan, but they used to make good 1911s, but even the 1911 anymore is not. Their 1911s aren't worth the price you pay for them anymore. They're really not.
Yeah, they're up in the Grand area, aren't they?
Over.
Starting. I got a competition Colt that is pretty nice. The only problem I had with it was I had to file down the magazine release a little bit. I mean, it was really, really, really tight when I got it. I mean, you had to really force a magazine in it, and I took the whole gun apart and polished up a lot of stuff on the inside and did trigger job on it. And I took out the magazine release and I put it back in, and then it just would not take a magazine. I mean, it would hit it and just stop, and you'd have to smack it, jam it, and actually put a mark and bent my magazine.
Oh wow!
Like, oh well, that ain't gonna work. So it made plenty of marks on it, so I had to file it down a little bit to get it to work great, and that's all it took. But yeah, they throw them together on those assembly lines. They don't hand fit much. They just go with it.
That was what Colt used to always be good about was their heat. They would always hand fit everything. Anymore, it's hit or miss with those.
Oh, and the grip safeties are so loose they rattle when you walk around with that gun. That's another complaint I have about them. Other than that, like the one that jammed a whole lot, it's just the plain government model, and it's pretty accurate for the sights that are on it. But the competition model I got, man, it's real accurate. I mean, that's a wonderful gun to shoot, but it's a little pricey, but it's sharp on the edges, and you just Colts. You're kind of buying the name. You're not really getting that much quality, really.
Yeah, that's all it is anymore. You're buying the name.
Because if you go look at their custom department, they're selling you a gun, and then the gun that you really want to have is going to be extra. I mean, they go in, you have to pay them just to soften the edges up on it, dehorn it, and then you'll have to pay to have it refinished, and you got to pay for checkering on the front grip and stuff. I mean, they just to get a nice Colt, you'll end up spending $2,500.
Oh, yeah.
Might as well buy a Zeb for that.
Because whatever they sell you is not the ultimate that you want to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whatever they sell you is not the finished product.
Yeah, it's like buying a basic Harley Davidson. They know you're going to take it home and want to change everything. You know.
Oh, I miss my Harley. You got one, Jason?
Nope. I quit riding 10 years ago. I always had Hondas and Kawasaki's. I still got a Kawasaki, maybe a Kawasaki and a half.
Yeah, I miss riding. It's been a long time. I just haven't had time. How about you, Rich? You have a bike?
Not currently, no.
I haven't been on a bike in years, like 16, 17, 18, around there.
It's been longer than that since I've been on one.
Actually, last Harley I had was when I was living in Ohio. I had a 100th anniversary Softail Standard. Love that bike.
Back in the early 90s, my mother's boyfriend had anniversary edition 1200 Sportster, and I used to ride that all the time.
Yeah, Indian's out now again, aren't they? I know they keep it open and closing. I think they're back out again, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like a seasonal thing with them. Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
Wait, is it Indian or is it like 1020th Indian?
Yeah. It's the Elizabeth Warren Indian. It's not the original company, but yeah.
Looks like you have someone in the
Yeah.
background
Oh, we do.
or backstage.
Sure.
How comes I don't get
Back
to see
there.
that?
Yeah, but, where'd he go? He just left. We lost Kingpin before I even got a chance to add him.
Well, he was there.
He'll be back.
Yeah, I was getting ready to add him in, and whoop, he's gone. Oh,
I
now he's
think
back.
sometimes he gets kicked in and out when people click stuff. There he is.
There he is.
Yeah, I'm hardline now, so I can make it through the whole show. But if any kind of disruption happens in the Matrix, I'm out.
StreamYard is kingpinist.
That's right.
Uh-oh. Is that the snob?
Snob's got his
Unfortunately.
own link, and he's piggybacking on Stacy.
I've been busy, man. Busy.
Hey,
Oh.
is Yes, Stacy? There's a show tonight. Is that like the sequel to Yes, Virginia? There is a Santa Claus.
Something like that.
I told you. I
said if Rich didn't do his tonight, I would do mine.
I told you don't count on it.
No,
So
I already told everybody if Rich didn't do his, I would do mine tonight. Rich
Uh-huh.
did his, so I didn't do mine. Darn well.
Slacking. Just
So I've been
slacking.
editing video.
Well, Snob missed out on a super chat.
Probably.
Snob, do you ever ride bikes?
What kind? Ones with motors?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, I have. As soon as my youngest is 18, I will again.
that's the
Um,
deal. I couldn't get one until she was 18, but I don't know if I trust being on the back of a bike with him.
Why not?
Have you not met my husband?
Well, not personally.
I
but
don't even
have-
trust him in a car.
She rides a jet ski with me. I ain't killed her yet.
At least I'll land in water.
The key phrase there is yet.
Fair enough.
I could call my father-in-law. He's supposed to give me a ride at some point.
Yeah, my wife said unless I get $1 million insurance, then she's not gonna. Well, she let me buy guns, but she won't let me buy a bike.
Hey, get one of those slingshots. It's like a car and a bike.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Hey, I want one of those. I wanted to rent one here a while back, but they were expensive to rent. I was like, nah, I'm not that interested. For like 4 hours, it's like $200.
Yeah.
I saw one of those just the other day, actually.
There's,
Those are cool looking though.
there's a guy about 10, 15 miles away from where I live. He looks exactly like the Batmobile. He decked it all out.
Yeah, those slingshots, man, they look like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah. Pacifist said I kicked my ex-wife at full speed on a jet ski once.
Oh, now we know why it's his ex-wife.
Yeah, that must have hurt, man.
Yeah, water is not that soft when you're going 60 mile an hour.
Heck no. You're like skimming a rock across the water.
And then when you have to swim a mile to get back to the jet ski.
Well, a lot of people, I don't understand. A lot of people go jet skiing on the lakes here. There's no way in hell would I have a jet ski on the lake here in Florida. There's gators.
We ain't got some gators in Oklahoma.
It's funny because it's breeding season now, so every single lake around my house has a gator in it.
Yeah, we ain't got no gators here either.
We got
Florida
alligator gar
problem.
though. They're pretty mean looking.
we got lots of swamps here, man.
Yeah, Florida problems.
Oh yeah, yep. Gators and
on the
snakes.
golf course.
Yep. Oh yeah, gators climbing. They had a couple scenarios. One on the news lately. One of them climbing a gate, and then another one broke into a woman's kitchen and broke her wine bottles. And then another one was in a pool.
When we went to Disney World when I was younger, we were going to we went to SeaWorld and we were on our way back to Kissimmee because we were staying in Kissimmee. And what is that the beeline that connects them? I don't remember. It's been so long. But we were driving by the one nuclear plant and there were gators in the nuclear plant in the pond that was outside the nuclear plant.
Oh yeah, it's nice and warm in the pond next to the nuclear plant. Talking about nuclear plant, this is not a nuclear plant, but every year they have this event. It's on the intercoastal, so it's saltwater. So there's usually no gators there, and it's right next to the power plant, so it's warm water, and all the big fish in the wintertime go there. And every year there's an event that these swimmers or the divers go there and pick up all the hooks and weights and everything. And that same day, that evening, there was a 15-foot great white shark in that area. It's pretty funny.
Man, there's like too many dangerous animals where you live at, man.
It's the Wild West, buddy.
Good Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Sharks, gators, snakes.
Oh yeah, we got all kinds of crazy stuff. We got let's see, we got the brown recluse spiders. We got the coral snake, which is like I think it's a cobra family. We got eastern diamondbacks, which is way bigger than the western diamondbacks.
Oh yeah, the eastern diamondback is the largest venomous snake in the United States. It's the largest. It's the largest member of the rattlesnake family.
Yeah. I've seen them like 6 foot here. 6 foot.
They get bigger. They get bigger than that. Eastern diamondback can be up to 9 feet in length.
Oh yeah. Right near where I live, there's an island called Caladesi. Yeah, you can only get to it by boat or ferry. And right when you walk up on the beach, they have all these wooden pathways there, and there's signs on there: "Don't go off the pathways because it's a rattlesnake warning." So gotta be careful there.
Yeah, there's the pygmy rattlesnake. That thing, man, if you're barefoot, that thing will bite the hell out of your pinky toe.
Oh yeah. There's tons of them around.
And they're highly venomous. The problem is their mouths are so small they can't bite you in most areas, but watch your fingers or toes around them. They will bite the hell out of your finger or toe.
Oh yeah. And then we also got the water moccasin, another venomous snake.
I was talking to this guy from Australia that I met on one of Patriot's comments in one of his videos. And as we got to be, a little bit more friendly, we were debating Second Amendment stuff for a long time. And as we got to be a little bit more friendly with each other, we started talking, like teasing with each other and talking about how dangerous it is to live here, live there, live here. And I was like, he said something about, the gun violence here. And I was like, yeah, because Australia is completely safe with, your alligators or your crocodiles and your poisonous snakes and stuff.
They don't have alligators. The crocodiles would eat them.
Right. But the funny part was that he really stuck it right back in my face, because the email he sent me back was like 30 animals long for all the dangerous animals that are in the United States. So I texted him back and I was like, yeah, you kind of won that argument there.
Yeah. Australia has the 10 most venomous snakes in the world, okay?
Yeah, the most venomous snake in the world is the inland taipan, and they're in Australia.
They don't have wolves, they don't have bears, they don't have tigers, they don't have not tigers, but
they got boxing
coyotes.
kangaroos. So
I'd rather box a kangaroo than a mountain lion.
I don't know, man.
No, man, those kangaroos will tear you apart.
Oh yeah, they got talons.
If you're at one animal you don't want to mess with is the cassowary. The cassowary scared Steve Irwin.
Yeah, that with the big skull thing, like the big those things will bust you up.
They literally will gut you.
Plus, they run like 50 miles an hour.
Oh yeah. And then they got they have a spider there. It's called the funnel web spider. It's one of the most venomous spiders in the world.
Yeah, those are scary.
You know that the place is bad when there's a spider that's literally called the name of the spider is the bird-eating spider.
Well, it's because it's how big it is. It's like the size of your two hands put together.
Yeah, this thing is like a tarantula, only deadly.
Yeah. And then
it literally eats small birds. There is truth in advertising with that spider's name.
And then the other thing that they have here is it's a very common snake. It's called the brown snake.
Yeah, the common brown snake.
Yeah, and I'm kind of a herpetologist. A little. That's my side hobby. I used to collect snakes. I don't anymore because of the kids.
When I was in middle school, that's what I wanted to do. I read every book that they had in the library on snakes.
Oh yeah. Actually, my most recent one, I had it passed away about 3 months ago. It was non-venomous. I never kept any venomous snakes because of the kids. But my last one was a green tree python. And that they, if you know anything about green tree pythons, they have the longest fangs of the non-venomous snakes in the world. They're like they're not as big as a gaboon viper or anything like that, but when they get you, it hurts.
Personally, in my opinion, the prettiest snake in the world is probably the emerald tree boa. Man, those things are gorgeous.
Ooh, I don't know, man. So non-venomous, yes, but venomous is the tree viper. They come in like an array of rainbow color, but very, very snappy.
Have you seen an emerald tree boa? Man, those things are a beautiful shade of green.
Oh yeah. You ever? I tell you what, there's a couple different ones. So you got the rainbow boa, which is has a very iridescent shine to it, almost like a metallic blue, but it's brown and blackish with a really cool pattern, and they're really cool snakes. Good starter snake is like a sand boa or something. They live under the sand.
I mean, the most beautiful snake I ever saw was
Dead one.
Dead one after I killed it.
Yeah, get yourself a ball python, man. They're just cool.
I just don't do snakes, man. I hate them. God, there's no way.
Yeah, my wife would never go near the tank. I had the most prettiest tank in the world, man. It was just unreal. It looked like the part of Amazon in my house. She would not. She would stay on the opposite side of the couch, not to be that close. And then when my mom came, oh my God, my mom's bloody terrified of snakes. So I had to move the snake out of my house to my friend's house before she would come into my house. It was bad.
I can deal with like people's pet snakes and stuff. Like I don't mind being close to them, but if it's a spider, I don't care what kind of spider it is, I'm out.
Really?
Yes. I've almost tore out stitches twice in my rush to get away from a spider.
Oh wow!
My grandmother had pet tarantulas when I was a little kid.
Nope.
Oh jeez.
Yeah,
really?
Kingpin, I don't know if Cobra Commander qualifies as a snake.
Okay, so Cobra, come on now. And under that mask, he wasn't human; he was a mutant. So. And
didn't you ever see the Transformers episode where they actually showed his face?
Transformers, we're talking about G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I know.
So I'll go by the G.I. Joe episodes, not the Transformers episodes.
Was in an episode of Transformers.
Yeah, he was in every episode of G.I. Joe.
Yeah, but Transformers took place after G.I. Joe. It was a future thing where Cobra Commander was trying to get back into the mercenary thing, or the terrorist thing after, because it was like after the Transformers basically tells you that G.I. Joe eventually won. It basically is what was going on. And Cobra Commander was trying to get back into the game, and they were calling him, what were they calling him, the Viper or something? Or Cobra. They were just calling him Cobra or something. But there was a really brief scene where you actually see his face, and he was just human.
That's like showing the face of Muhammad.
Yeah, I've handled quite a few venomous snakes, but I've never kept any.
And we lost David.
He'll be back.
Somebody must have bowled a strike.
Now, I pulled over the car once. I was taking my daughter. We were going to my sister's, and we got into the parking lot, and there was a snake, and I literally stopped the car, jumped out of it, and made her kill it before I get back in the car.
I told the story before. The only time I've ever seen a rattlesnake in the wild was in the city of Pittsburgh. We used to go camping in the woods. Where I see a rattlesnake in the wild is in the city. It was in Riverview Park, which was right by where I grew up, and it was a big wooded area. And walking down the trail, I hear the rat, that telltale rattle. While, I'm like, what the hell? I look around, and sure enough, a little bit farther up the trail, there's a goddamn rattlesnake sitting right in the middle of the trail.
Yeah. So funny enough, I was just telling Seven Wonders he was saying that he relocates snakes, and we have a ton of armadillos here, and we also have possums and raccoons. So possums are actually it's a marsupial animal, and they're actually tolerant to most venomous snakes, except for the coral snake. So they can take diamondbacks, they can take water moccasins, and it doesn't affect them. Pretty interesting animal they are.
Yeah, it's the only marsupial that lives in the United States.
Yep.
Hey man, Mike. Actually, in the house right across the street from where I'm living right now was my grandmother's house. And when my great grandmother was alive, they were skinning a possum to make possum stew or soup or what the hell ever, But they were skinning this possum, and they had all 4 of its feet cut off and was skinning it, whatever, gonna pull the skin off of it, and the thing came back to life and jumped off the table and onto the floor and scooting across the room.
Oh my God! Yeah, they're also they're very rare that they can retract rabies. Very, very tough animal. But gators also are extremely tough. They live in those nasty swamps, and they have these massive fights between one another. And some of them get some pretty big scars, and none of that infection from the water actually hurts them. It's pretty interesting. But they've been around for millions of years, so they've evolved. That's for sure.
And they how their fur looks all like wiry and stuff. When you pet them, they are one of the softest animals you would ever want to pet. Their fur is not what it looks to be. Their fur is very soft.
Make good boots. Or a hat.
Yeah, a hat maybe. I don't know about boots.
Well, I guess buffalo briefs. Well, possum briefs.
Yeah, we had we were living in one place, so we ended up at, I told this before, where we had a bunch of baby possums. Don't know where their parents were, but a bunch of baby possums got into the house. We caught them all and took them out to my wife's mother and dumped them out there. But they were big and old enough where they could fend for themselves. It wasn't like we took teeny tiny little baby possums and just threw them out in the woods somewhere. But they weren't adult yet. But man, they let us pick them up and everything. They were super soft.
Oh yeah. Very interesting animal. Armless armadillos. Yeah. Well, we got a ton. Armin and Axis says possums are like armorless armadillos. Yeah, we got a ton of armadillos here, and the bad thing about it is that they don't get out of the road. So most of the time, unless you're out early in the morning, you don't see them. But you can see them early in the morning. But most of the time, when you do see them, they're dead on the road.
Oh, so they're like deer, is what you're saying?
Yeah, they just stare at the headlights.
Do they run into the side of your car?
No, they don't have
Possum
doors.
jump up there and bounce off the door.
No.
They would probably do the cannonball, from professional wrestling into the side of my wife's car. Animals seem to like to hit her car when she's driving.
I remember when I lived in Ohio, and I lived close to I-75 by Kings Island, and you'd always see when it's deer season coming up, or in the wintertime, how much dead deer on the road from the big trucks, just scattered across the road.
Yeah. You once it starts being fall here, you have to watch out for the deer, man.
Oh yeah,
You got a few months of that here, because especially where I drive mostly country roads, but there's there's certain spots, certain fields, certain little places that you just better look out every single day because every day you'll see them.
Kingpin, I got a question.
What up?
Is that a dog that seems like Peter Tork?
Hey.
He said Torky, not Yorkie.
I feel stupid right now. That's
Man,
pretty funny.
turkeys are the best dogs.
Porkies are the best little dogs.
And they're really good at playing the bass.
Hey, enjoy, please, please. Live it up, live it up. Go ahead. It's funny. I deserve it.
Oh, that's funny.
That was pretty good.
I was behind one of the state highway dump trucks that was full, packed full of dead deer. Needless to say, it wasn't a pleasant ride down the road.
Well, where I live, I see deer every day. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Every day. I gotta watch out for them.
Yeah, here the deer in Florida, the deer are tiny. I mean, they're really tiny. They're almost the size of. I mean, they wouldn't say bigger than a large dog, but they're really tiny.
Dog deer.
Dog deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got chihuahuas that are wearing antlers. They're not really.
Are they bigger than a turkey?
Yeah, they're bigger than a turkey.
I hate to be mean about it, but those smaller deer like that, they taste so much better.
I do like deer.
They do. I mean, I'm not saying, but I got plenty of friends that if it's bigger than a dog, you shoot at it. It'll get ate. It's not getting just for fun. It's getting harvested.
Yeah. What we do have here is massive hogs. I don't know why, we got just massive hogs.
They're all over the south.
Yeah, man, those things are aggressive. You got to be careful. We got a park near us. It's called Starkey Park. So I would say it's close to, God, I don't know how big that is. Let me look that up. How big is Starkey Park? But you got to be careful when you're walking through the trails. If you start hearing, the snorting they do, you just, stop and walk away.
Jesus, man, you got killer hogs, crocodiles, giant snakes, sharks,
Alligators.
Is there any birds in there that attack you there?
Oh man, we got turkey vultures. We got sometimes once in a while you see bald eagles. What else? Cranes. They're massive. So it's 18,000 acres is Starkey Park.
Just in case you didn't know, Jason, the town that Bloke lives in is called Jumanji.
I'm playing it right now.
And Jason misspoke when he said crocodile, but he's not wrong because southern tip of Florida actually does have crocodiles.
Yeah, they do. There's like
crocodile, yeah.
Yeah, like you go out to the Miami, certain parts of the very rural parts of down there that there are crocodiles.
Most people don't even realize the fact that there are crocodiles. They just think alligators, but yeah, there are crocodiles in the United States as well. We're not talking saltwater crocodiles. These are small crocodiles, but they're still crocodiles, and they will
It is a saltwater crocodile, but it's not as big as like the ones in Australia.
It's not the Australian saltwater crocodile. These are tinier. These are like its little baby cousins.
Oh yeah, and then the other, like Jason, you were saying the big snakes. We have some gigantic snakes here. So back when what was that big hurricane that we had here? There was a huge breeding facility near the Everglades, and that's where all for snakes, and a bunch of them got out, and they thought they died over the winter, and they didn't. So now in the Everglades, they got these massive Burmese pythons and rock pythons, and they're afraid that they're going to intermate. And the reason being because rock pythons are very, very aggressive. And Burmese pythons, they get to like 18 feet. So now you've got this aggressive, massive snake. And they have these events where you go down there and you kill what you see because they're taking over and killing alligators and eating them.
Oh yeah, there've been a you look online, you'll see pictures where, and snakes don't realize that something's too big for them to eat. So you will see even like 8-foot pythons that try to eat alligators, and they explode because as they're swallowing it, because they swallow it whole, they actually kill themselves trying to swallow the alligator.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
you see a python where the python's head is around the alligator's body, and the back half of the body's gone because it exploded trying to swallow this alligator.
Yeah, I remember seeing that picture. I've never seen I've never seen a rock python yet, but I have seen a Burmese python out in the wild. We found I think it was like a 9-foot snake skin, and this was in my buddy's property. And then we found the snake and killed it because they're they're not native, so they kill your chickens and your dogs and cats.
That's an invasive species, correct?
Yes, it's an invasive species.
Very invasive.
Yeah.
Hey, hello all. That's like the wild hogs. Problem with the wild hogs, all that going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and down there in Florida, there's like Everglades everywhere. Man, it's like prime territory for these snakes. You know?
Yeah.
So, I remember
all the Everglades National Park. I mean, that place it's nothing but a big, huge swamp. It's where they live. You know.
yeah, it's like heaven for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the perfect climate. It's for them.
Oh yeah.
And, well, in Florida, it doesn't get cold enough for the snakes to die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even here in Ohio, it can get really cold. They're cold-blooded animals. They'll just go into complete hibernation, and their heart rate drops to like 1 beat per minute or some crazy thing, and it's like.
Well, it's a different type of snake too. So like all your Burmese pythons and all that, they don't hibernate. Most like the ones you're talking about, like your garter snakes, they hibernate, and so do rattlesnakes too, right? But Burmese pythons don't. But they are an invasive species, and it is a problem down here. The other thing I forgot to tell you this. If you haven't looked this up, in Fort Lauderdale, there is a problem with iguanas. So there's iguanas everywhere. And then you go further down to like Miami-Dade City, and they have a problem with this lizard called a tegu. And they're a pretty aggressive lizard, and they're everywhere too. And they're both.
And there are problems with the snakeheads too. The snakeheads are eating all the indigenous species.
Yeah, I was just going to mention the snakehead fish because they're and I guess we've had some spottings up here in Lake Erie. So
and snakehead's an air breather too, so they will climb out of one canal,
crawl to another on their fins.
Breathe.
Isn't that crazy?
Any guys want to come down here on vacation, go for a swim?
No. Unless it's in your pool, you know, if you got a pool.
Sounds like I don't want to walk down the sidewalk.
They have found snakeheads and alligators in people's swimming pools. Are you sure about that?
So my aunt came over from overseas, and she goes, because there was trees. She goes, oh, look at that forest. I said, Auntie Tanya, that's not a forest, that's a swamp. And it was a perfect picture, because right when she said that, a gator was walking across the street.
What'd she say about that? She go, oh, what?
Yes, exactly. Well, she stopped and was taking pictures like a tourist.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So hey, the Everglades. You go on Lake Okeechobee in the Everglades. That's a great lake for going bass fishing. You just got to worry about the snakes and the gators and everything else that's in the water.
Well, believe it, most of the lakes here are great bass fishing, because of big mouth down here. They get pretty big. Oh yeah, they're huge down here.
Is that freshwater with no gators, or freshwater with gators?
Gators are freshwater, so yeah.
Yep. Anywhere there's freshwater, there's a possibility.
That's what gator. I thought. I know crocs can be either or.
Well,
gators can too. I mean, if you get to the Louisiana Bayou, it's brackish. So I mean, gators can survive in saltwater, but in Florida, the gators are in freshwater.
Well, you got to remember they're air breathers, so what's it doing? Burning their eyes?
No, it's actually affecting their skin, so they can't stay in.
Okay.
Yeah, they can't stay in salt water for too long, but they have been spotted in salt water before.
Yeah, gators tend to avoid like ocean water, but you get into the bracket.
The brackish is the mix of salt and fresh.
Right.
So yeah,
they can take that, but they can't take straight ocean water
Hey,
for too long.
hey, the story Jaws was based on, I think it was a tiger shark that swam
Bull
what
shark.
was it? Bull shark swam
Yeah.
up the Mississippi or something.
New
No,
Jersey.
this happened in Jersey.
Yeah, it was a Jersey. They called it the year of the shark, and what happened because bull sharks can go in fresh water.
Yeah,
It happened in Jersey. There were like 5 attacks,
There's 12.
all within boom,
12.
boom, 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 and it's like, holy cow! But there were that year there were attacks all up and down that area.
Yeah, I think the biggest one is when there was a guy. He was training his horses, and I guess he put them in the river to, work against resistance, and his horse got attacked by a bull shark.
Yeah, that was in Australia.
Was that Australia?
Yeah, that happened in Australia.
Okay, my mistake.
heck, I don't know.
But it was still a bull shark. I mean,
Oh yeah.
He thought maybe a croc god was in there and didn't see it. But
Right.
crocs usually they'll come to the surface. They don't usually attack underwater. Next thing you know, the horse is down and he sees the shark's fin going away. It did the whole pop up and you see the fin breaking the top of the water.
I'll say this: that Florida is the prime area for reptiles to survive. I mean, it's the right climate. It's the right. They got the water. They got the swamps. They got prime climate. It's warm enough. Reptiles. What's that? A country boy will survive. No, a reptile will survive. I should write a parody song about reptiles survive. Never mind. I'm going to shut up.
Okay. We know darn well that's not going to happen, Amy. So.
I know. I just right now I want to pick up my guitar and write a parody song.
7 Wonder.
Play just like yesterday. You know what I
7
mean? Won't be fooled again.
7 Wonders said, wonder what would happen if I open carry my 357 stainless on the beach. So here,
Where you're at.
you can't carry open here in Florida, but unless
You
you're
can if
going
you're
hunting or fishing. Yes, so there's a group down here that they go out fishing every so often, and they take their ARs, open carry, and they their holsters on their side. So yeah, only if you're fishing. So if you got a fishing pole, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not as bad as everybody thinks. I mean, I can step outside and I'm not going to get eaten or bit or chewed on or anything like that. So
yeah, I swam in the Atlantic Ocean off Cocoa. Okay, it's not that bad.
No, it's pretty.
I swam in the Atlantic off Rehoboth Beach in Delaware. That's the only time I swam in the ocean. But
I swim in the Atlantic all the time when I go to Fort Lauderdale for grad school.
well, yeah, but you're by the ocean. I'm not. I'm in Ohio. I'm by Lake Erie. Come on. I don't even want to swim in Lake Erie.
See
You'd
the
be
point?
safer to swim in the ocean than you would in Lake Erie. But that's like good.
So and
Homer.
so 7 Wonders, can I strap a fishing pole on my back? So ironically, they got some funny laws down here too. One of them is like if you go spear fishing, you have to have the gun dismantled completely when you're on the beach, and then you have to go swim out and then put it back together, which is odd.
So
Just get a shark stick.
That's the rubber band, like a wrist rocket spear fishing gun you're talking.
Yeah, either one. It's either gas powered or elastic powered, one of the two.
And you got to be in the water to put. Okay. Oh, okay. That's
If you're walking from the beach. Now, if you're on a boat, then it can be fully mantled.
right. So you're telling me if I'm on the beach, I can't do it because I might shoot somebody and spear them. That this is stupid law shit. Okay, but if I walk 100 feet into the water and I'm up to my depending on where you're at, up to my waist in water, then I can arm it and then shoot people on the beach with it. Is that what? Yeah, I'm sorry. You see where I'm going? It's like, oh my God, really? What the hell is
that great on those?
what's the sense in that law? You know what I mean? It's like,
I agree. But then, even still, I mean, unless you go out 20, 25, I think it's like 30 miles, it's still relatively shallow. So I think it's about, until you reach the shelf, it's only about 20, 25 feet deep until you reach the shelf. So the waters around on the Gulf side is not that deep at all until you reach the shelf.
Yes, but sharks don't need really deep water.
Yeah, they're around. And we do have bull sharks too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The bull
y'all
sharks
ever,
you really have to worry about.
y'all ever seen the thing with what's his name, River Monster, Wade, whatever his name was, jumping in with the piranhas, and they didn't even bother him. It was like,
When piranhas get vicious is when it's the dry season because
right,
their food is
right, yeah. And honestly, I think it's the same with no matter what shark. It's like, man, if they got plenty of food,
bull sharks will attack just to attack. It doesn't matter.
they'll attack anything.
Yeah, they'll attack just to attack.
A shark is just a constant eating machine, isn't it?
So the most aggressive shark here is obviously the tiger shark. But
Bull
generally,
sharks are worse than tiger sharks.
yeah, I agree. Bullshit. So, but also we have what's called a lemon shark, which is very aggressive. It's a smaller shark, and they generally live in the intercoastals. So most people don't swim in intercoastals anymore.
I don't want to swim anywhere there's a shark. Okay,
It's not as bad as you think. Yeah,
it's like Wayne's World when he says, "A gun rack. I don't own a gun." Yeah, I don't want to swim where there's a shark. Period.
Yeah. And also 7 Wonder says, I forgot what killed Steve Irwin. It was a stingray, and we have tons of stingrays here.
Yeah, it was a stingray that put its spike right in.
It was a really big stingray.
And it put its tail right into his heart. Boom, you're
So
done.
Right now, if you go swimming in the Gulf, you have to shuffle your feet because it's breeding season, so they've come very close to the beach, so you have to shuffle your feet. But I've only got stung once, and that was when I was a kid. Lucky enough, it didn't puncture anything crazy. So
You got stung by a stingray?
yeah, in my foot.
Was this in England or was this here? Where?
Indian Rocks Beach, right next to Clearwater Beach in Florida.
Oh, I'll be darned. How big is stingray? Just a small one? Just got your foot?
I have no idea. I didn't see it. But
all you did was go, ow!
Oh yeah, I cried So the funny story is, I got stung by a stingray, and the fireman came because I was screaming like a little girl. And
I bet you were.
Yeah, and
I would be too. Ow!
So they told me to put it in hot soapy water because it has a lot of bacteria on their barb. Mm-hmm. So I went back home on the intercoastal, and I was fishing, and I caught a catfish. And the catfish here have a barb on their dorsal fin. It's pretty nasty, and it hit me up. And I got stung by that.
They got barbs, their pectorals, their sides, and their dorsal.
Yeah.
And that's people say stung. No, it's so sharp. You're getting the bacteria from the slime and all that. They don't have venom or stingers. You know what I'm saying? It's the slime and the bacteria that gets you. But so you got stung by that right after that? Oh
yeah,
my God.
I was sitting on the dock at my dad's house, and I had my foot in the hot soapy water, and I caught that stupid catfish, and I pulled it up, and it stung my knee.
Catfish will mess you up, man.
So did you go to the bathtub and go, okay, I got to put my whole leg in the hot soapy water now?
Yeah, I think I just gave up and went inside.
I've seen somebody get their hand sliced completely open from a catfish barb. Those things, they are nasty little things.
Oh yeah.
I see the orange one has dropped in. What's up with the orange one?
Noxious.
Who's that? Who's the orange one?
You damn orange obnoxious guy.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
How you doing, bud?
What's up?
Doing all right.
So we're just talking about the Florida wildlife.
Now, 7 Wonder said out there in the chat he dated a girl named Barb in college. She had a lot of bacteria as well.
Oh,
I wish I had my drum set in front of me to go ding. Yeah.
But
Now he didn't say he was in college. Read that. He's saying that she was in college. What was this, last week?
no, that's too old for him.
This is true.
So another funny fact about bacteria. So they ran a statistics here in Florida a couple of years ago, and we have a place called The Villages, which is a huge retirement home. I mean, when I say huge, you don't see cars there. All you see is golf carts on the road.
Wait. There's a retirement community in Florida. How unusual.
Yeah, but this one.
I know where this is going, bloke. I know where this is going.
So they have
telling the story.
Yeah, in the nation now, they did the statistic. This place here has the highest STD rate in the nation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those old people down there are freaks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's why they did an episode of Bob's Burgers about it. Do you ever see that episode of Bob's Burgers where they went, I think it was his wife's parents. They moved down there and they were about to get kicked out because they want to join in the festivities.
Oh yeah. We got quite a few odd communities. One of them is I'm not going to say the name, but it's a it's if you say hot in Spanish, that's what it is. But it's a nudist colony, and you have to bring a towel to sit down on. So that's the rule when you're in there.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
Yeah. Don't forget a towel. and there's certain rules, like
my God,
if you put a cone out in the garage, that means something. Amoxicillin, yeah, man. Kingpin said amoxicillin. Yeah, the pharmaceuticals here are very high.
Hey, can I say this? You get to that age, if you can still do it, do you care if it kills you? Because if you're that, I don't know. I'm ranting.
That's why they're doing it, because that little blue pill.
All right.
That little blue pill.
And little blue pills, man.
That little blue pill, and everybody's ending up a widow or a widower. So.
A lot of happy things.
They have no idea of
hell no. Dude,
of what's out there and what can go around, because they never had to deal with it. Because
there's one problem with that theory. They ain't all widows and widowers. A lot of these places are swinger resorts, man.
Oh yeah.
We were swinging.
Man, you guys are just killing the Florida tourism. This chat's getting blocked.
No. Right now, there's a bunch of old men furiously typing into Priceline. Find out flights down to Florida.
And there's snakes, alligators, and sharks.
Yeah, maybe I'll start a tour guide here service. Hey, anybody who wants to come to Florida and investigate those communities, you contact me and I'll take you there.
Yeah, you know why they were at the golf carts, right? I mean, they're too tired from the activities the night before.
Oh yeah.
I'm laughing my ass off here. You know why they drive the golf carts? Because they go slow.
No, they're too sore from the night's activity, the previous night.
Yeah, but they go slow. If they drive more than like 30 miles an hour,
No, they can't move their legs enough anymore.
The biggest pickup spot there is at CVS Pharmacy, because they're all lined up in their golf cart.
They were having one of Stewie's sexy parties.
Oh wow.
That's a true story, because we used to take my children through that village to this camp. It was what was it? Eagles? Yeah, Eagle camp. They had an Eagle camp there. And so we have to drive through, and all the way around CVS. That was the most busiest store. You'd see a couple people at McDonald's, but CVS was just loaded with golf carts. It was like an online dating scene.
Hey guys, I think we might be turning Ozzy on here.
Yep.
Oh,
just bring tinfoil.
you know, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about, old people, retirement, 79, 80 years old, going to the pharmacy to get the blue pill and hooking up with. I'm like, hey, you know something? I'm not that old yet, but okay, maybe. I'm gonna laugh at it.
What else are they going to do all day? Come on.
Yeah, why not? What the hell you got to lose, right?
Well, depends on the constant there, if what you have to lose. But it's an interesting place for it. I love it. I don't think I'll move away, but you got to be careful, I guess.
Yeah, I've known for years that Florida has been the that's where we're going when we retire kind of place, and so
Yeah.
you get a lot of older people down there, but hey, you're talking the whole old nudist colony, and I'm like, I'm going to be 53. I don't want to go to a nudist colony with people my age, let alone 79 or what. Oh, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, they look like raisins.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't like looking at myself in the mirror. Come on. What?
Yeah, you can always tell that when I worked at a particular hospital close to that community, you can always tell when they're the nudist because they have absolutely no tan lines anywhere, and they don't wear the gowns in their room, so they're just very open. So, and they all look like raisins.
And when you get a whole retirement community coming in with a broken hip, you know what was going on the night before.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I have to explain, the hip precautions. So you can't cross your legs. Like, really? Like, no, you can't bend past 90. You go, really? Well, that puts a damper in their life when you can't bend past 90, Because most activities go past 90 degrees when your legs are up, right?
I'm just going to tell you this from my point of view. Getting old sucks, okay?
Unless you're in a Florida retirement village, apparently.
Well, yeah. If getting old sucks, and if you can go to the Florida retirement place that okay.
There is a joke in what you're just saying, but I'm not going there.
Well, you should. I don't care.
I consider that job security.
YouTube already doesn't like me.
Well, YouTube don't like anybody that doesn't say, we're snowflakes.
YouTube hates cops.
Yeah, YouTube hates anybody that's pro-Constitution, so whatever.
Yeah, it's a shame.
No, I don't think YouTube likes me because of my stance on Muslims. You heard my stance on Muslims? Come on.
I am raised a Christian. I don't, look, I pray, but I don't go to church. This is the thing. I believe what I believe. But a religion that has a book that says kill them because they're not your religion, they're infidels, I got a problem with that.
Yeah, and that's not even the craziest thing that book says.
Exactly. What? You believe what we believe or we're going to kill you.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, okay, bring it on because I'll kill you back. Okay.
You know what their idea of an antibiotic is?
What's that?
Okay, if this is actually in the Quran, if you get sick, you are to mix camel's milk with camel urine and drink it.
Yeah, that's probably not going to do much except make you sick and give you the shits. Yeah.
They also insist that water cannot, the Quran also states that water cannot be corrupted. So if you have a well that the people are using as a garbage dump, it's perfectly fine to drink that water.
All right. Well, yeah, your well can be corrupted very easily. What?
Yeah. Oh, and then if a fly lands in your food, dip it all the way in because one wing contains the disease, but the other wing contains the cure.
Okay. Yeah, I've only read a little bit of the Quran, and I read enough to go, what? Yeah, what? Yeah, yeah.
Watch Acts 17 Apologetics channel sometime rather, and laugh your ass off of what these people believe. Oh, and especially watch the Muhammad's Boom Boom Room skits that they do on there. It's Vocab Malone, who has his own YouTube channel, but he goes on there. He dresses like Muhammad, and then David Wood, who runs Acts 17 Apologetics, and another guy, I can't remember his name right now. They dress up and pretend that they're different historical figures who are being interviewed by Muhammad, and the end is always the same. Muhammad always ends up blowing them up, except for Donald Trump, who's a Secret Service agent, beat the fuck out of Muhammad and kept him from hitting the button. But that channel is freaking funny as hell.
That's funny.
Yes, it is.
I think we need to start wrapping this up for the night because Midnight's already sending his links out. So
yeah.
Jason, you got anything you want to plug real quick?
No, just I'll bring up Night Strike's Indiegogo campaign so he can get the live chat service going. Everybody's probably already gave to it, but give again if you can.
All right. Luke, anything you want to plug?
No, just check everybody's channels out. Thanks for the invite. Always a great show. Appreciate it. And definitely check out Night Strike's Indiegogo. It's a good cause, man.
Anybody got the link to that handy? Because
I can pull it up. Hold on a second here.
While he's doing that, you got anything you want to plug, A&A?
Nothing. Just check us out on YouTube and Facebook and wherever. I think we're on Twitter. I don't do much on Twitter or Instagram, but other than that, yeah, go to Night Strike's thing. I've given him, I don't know, 20 and then 15 and then $1 and then another. And I've already live streamed with Night Strike through GunTube, and it's not so much about live stream. It's more about getting that platform going. Yeah, please go donate to Night Strike.
Yes, it runs. It works pretty well. It's very similar to Hangouts, but he cannot run it on the hardware he has now. That's the main problem is the hardware. He needs better servers to run it.
Yep.
He can run a single chat in a test, but that's it. He's been using it the past few weeks for hit or miss, but he only has capacity to run one show at a time.
Yeah.
Even then, there's been times where it's dropped off, and he had to run it through OBS. So he needs help getting the equipment, folks. So,
but please go donate to him. Thanks for the invite, Rich. I know I come in late, but all good. Good to see all you guys, Bloke, Jason.
I thought I had sent you a link earlier.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I checked. I checked when it went live because us do this, and it's like, oh, no link. I'll just go watch the show, and it's like, oh, then you said, all good, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I realized when I was getting ready to get live, oh shit, I forgot to send Bloke a link. I forgot to send Seven a link, and I still forgot to send you a link.
All good, man. All good. Thanks for having me, brother.
Yeah. And Bloke just threw the link out there, folks, for the Indiegogo campaign. If you didn't know the address or anything, there it is. Give to what hurts. He needs the help getting this up and running. He's actually been pretty positive about this. It's not the usual down and in the glooms Night Strike. He's actually trying to be positive about something for once. Help the guy out, please.
So far it seems to be doing okay. He's getting some good revenue. I'm hoping that we can make this happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's just all put our money to them. And if you can't donate, and that's okay, spread the word. That's the biggest thing. I mean, if we can just if you word of mouth here is phenomenal. When YouTube cracks down on everybody and takes away your channel, the only place that you're going to be able to go is this place to put a content without a wait list or the politic crap that puts out there. But GunTube's a good platform to check out.
Even if you can only afford $1, please donate.
Yeah, and
You can
even
afford more, do that too.
yeah, and if you absolutely cannot afford to do anything, share the link. Make a video.
Yes.
The word of mouth is just as important as donations. The more you might be the one that may post to Facebook or Twitter or something and have somebody that can really help him out see this and help him out. You never know. So just spread it around as much as you can. And with that, we will bid you adieu and see you on the next time, folks. Have a good one.
2A strong.
Pay it forward.
Come on, bloke. You got to come up with something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shake and bake.
And I helped.
Bye.
That's all I got.
Peace.